Good morning, student. Today I am going to discuss about the new topic, the significant figures. Clear? So when a certain quantity is measured, the measure value not known exactly, and this measurement is with uncertainty, and this uncertainty of the measurement is due to the various factors like the quality of the apparatus and the number of observations performed. The significant figures in the expressions indicate the confidence with which our engineers or scientists state a quantity. Clear? So what is actually your significant figures? Look here. The significant figures are normally those digits in a measurement quantity which is known with certainty plus one digit that is uncertainty. So there is some rule to determine the significant figure. First one, all non-zero digits are significant. Take example, 1.23. 1.23 is a non-zero digit. So here the significant digit number is 3. Number of significant digit is 3. Similarly, take another example, 12.24. 12.24 here, the number of significant digit is here 4. Clear? Next one, all zero occurring between non-zero are significant. So, take example, 4009. 4009. All zero occurring between non-zero are significant. So take this example, 4009. Here there are 4 significant figures. 4 significant figures. Okay. Also you may take the different examples like 4009. One decimal is here. Here also the number of significant figure is 4. Number of significant figure is 4. Okay. So you have to follow these two rules initially. The third one, all numbers less 1, the 0 on the right side of the decimal point but left on the first non-zero digits are most significant. So take one example, 0.0246. Here the number of significant figure is 3. You have to omit or leave these two values. The 0 before the decimal and 0 after the decimal. So you have to take the significant figures, in this case is 3. Okay. Next is here, the trailing zeros in a numbers with decimal points are significant. Take example, that is your 8.200. Okay, so this is the 4 significant figures. Similarly, take another example, 0.0082467. Here is the 5 significant figures. Don't count this one. Next, the number of significant figures does not change even the expression is expressed in some other system of the measurement. Other system of measurement. Take example, 12.33 mm. There is 4 significant figures. Here, 1.234 centimeter. 4 significant figures. Similarly, 0.004354 into 10 power minus 2. It also have 4 significant figures. Don't count this value. Clear? So in this way, you have to determine the significant figure by taking more and more example. Calculations of the results of a measurement, we need to make the approximations and rounding of the measurement, which is required in the final result. So, for rounding of the measurement, the following rules are applied. So, look here the rules. If a digit is dropped less than 5, the preceding digits should be left unchanged. It means, take one example, 6.72, less than 5. So this is your less than 5. So the preceding digit should be left unchanged. So after rounding up, the value becomes 6.7. Clear? Now the second one. If a digit to be dropped is greater than 5, the preceding digits increase by 1. It means, take one example, 5.79. So according to this rule, if a digit to be dropped is greater than 5, the preceding digit increase by 1. So after rounding up, this becomes 5.8. Now come to the third one. If a digit drop is 5 followed by the digit other than 0, then the preceding digits rise by 1. Take example, 3.451. So according to rule, this became 3.5. Okay. That one is, if a digit drop 5 or 5 followed by 0, then preceding digits remain unchanged if it is even. Take example, 3.45. So look here, if a digit dropped by 5 or 5 followed by 0, then the preceding digit remain unchanged if it is even. So this is your even number. So it is remain unchanged. After rounding up, this is your 3.4. Second one, to take, so it is 3.450. It also became 3.4 after rounding up. Clear? Similarly, the next one, if a digit drop 5 or 5 followed by 0, then the preceding digit increase by 1 if it is odd. If it is odd means, suppose 4.35. If a digit drop 5 or 5 by 0, then the preceding digit increase by 1 if it is odd. So it is your odd. That is 3. So it is increased by 1, it means this is 4.4. Similarly, if the value likewise is like 0, it also became 4.4. Our next topic is error. The error is the difference between the measured value and the true value. You know that every measurement done with some instrument. Okay, so the measured value is always differ from your true value. So there is some differences occur. That difference is called as your error. So error is equal to the difference between the measured value and true value. So now we discuss about the type of error. Error are the 4 types mainly. One is systematic, other is random, gross error, least count error. Again, the systematic error is divided into the 3 parts, that is instrumental error, personal error, and imperfection of the experimental technique. Clear? Now, about the systematic error. So what is actually the systematic error? The systematic error is occur due to a definite pattern. It takes place along a particular directions, whether it is positive or negative. Clear? The systematic error is divided into the three categories. First one is instrumental error. So what is actually instrumental error? The instrumental error is due to the inbuilt defect of the measuring instrument. So here the measuring instrument, there is some fault. That is why some error is arises. That is called as your instrumental error. Similarly, take personal error. While doing the experiment, due to the carelessness or the limitation of the observer, some error arises. That is called your personal error. Here, the third one, imperfection of the experimental technique. It means the imperfect technique used for the measuring the physical quantities during your experiment. Clear? So this is the three types of systematic error. One is instrumental, second one is personal, and third one is imperfection of the experimental technique. Next one is your random error. The random error are those errors which occur irregularly due to the unpredictable changes in the experimental conditions. It means the random error are sometimes positive or other time may be negative. Sometimes they may be big or other times small. So these errors are due to some unknown reasons and so called as chance error. The random error can be minimized but cannot be eliminated. It can be minimized by taking a large number of observations. Now come to the gross error. The gross error is due to the improper adjustment of apparatus. Second one, the recording observations wrongly. Third one, not considering the precautions and source of error. The fourth one is using wrong value of in the calculations. Now come to the least count error. The minimum value that can be measured by an instrument is called as least count. The least count error is the error associated with the resolutions of measuring instrument, or this error is due to the limitations imposed by least count for measuring instrument. For example, the least count of the meter scale is 1 mm or 0.1 centimeter. Least count of the vernier caliper is 0.01 centimeter, whereas the least count of screw gauge or speedometer is 0.001 centimeter. So in measuring the length using the meter scale, reliability is up to 1.10 centimeter. Using vernier calipers, the reliability is up to 1/100 centimeter, and using screw gauge and speedometer, reliability is 1/1000 centimeter. The random error can be minimized by taking the large number of observations. So now our topic is elimination of error. So take some observation, that is x1, x2, x3 up to xn. So first find out the mean of the following observations. Mean value x1, x2 greater than xn by it is n. The mean value of the observation. Mean value of the given observations. Clear? Now, to calculate the absolute error. So how to calculate the absolute error? Look here, delta x1 equal to mean value minus the first observation. The second absolute error, mean value minus second observation. Similarly, you can calculate up to n observations, x minus xn. Okay. Next step is calculate the mean of absolute error. Mean of absolute error. This is your delta x bar. You take it is mod. It means the negative value became positive. So delta x1, delta x2, delta x3 up to delta xn. It is absolute value divided by n. In this way, you calculate the mean of absolute error. So this is the mean value of the given observations. It is your absolute error. And it is your mean of absolute error. In this way, you calculate. You take the modulus of each observations. Clear? Next is your relative error. Relative error. The relative error equal to the mean of absolute error divided by mean value. Now come to percentage error. Delta s by x bar into 100. It gives you percentage error. Clear? So this is all about to calculate the relative error, the percent error, and the absolute error of the given observations. Clear? Take one example to calculate the relative error and the percentage error. The refractory index of the water in an experiment was observed to be 1.30, 1.34, 1.35, 1.32, 1.36, 1.33. So look the step how to calculate one by one value. So find out first is your mean value of refractory index. That is your 1.30, 1.34, 1.35, 1.32, 1.36, 1.33 by 6. After calculation, that is, it is found to be 1.33. This is your mean value. Now, absolute error. How to calculate? First one is your delta 1. So mu minus mu 1, it is 1.33 minus 1.30. This value became your 0.03. Delta mu 2, mu 1 minus mu 2, 1.33 minus 1.34, that is minus 0.01. Delta mu 3, mu bar minus mu 3, 1.33 to 1.35 minus 0.02, delta mu 4, mu minus mu 4, that is 1.33 minus 1.22, 0.03, delta mu 5, mu bar minus mu 5, 1.33 minus 1.36, that is minus 0.03. The last value of the 6 observations, mu bar, mu 6, that is 1.33 minus 1.33, that is 0. Or simply you can write down 0. Okay. So this is the absolute error. Clear? Now the mean absolute error. That is, you take the modulus of each value. Delta mu 4, delta mu 5, delta mu 6, divided by the numbers 6. So first value is here 0.03. Second one is, by taking the modulus, this value became 0.01. Okay, because the negative value became positive. Next one is your 0.02, and the fourth value is now 0.01, and it is 0.03, that is your 0 by 6. Look here all values are positive. By taking the modulus of all value, the negative value became positive, because now 0.01 is your negative value. After taking mod, it became your positive. Similarly, 0.02, after taking mod, it became positive. And the other value is your 0.03. It also became positive after taking the modulus of the negative value of 0.03. Clear? Now, after calculation this one, the mean absolute error of the refractive index, the value is found to be 0.016. Now come to the relative error. Delta mu bar by mu bar, 0.016 by 1.33. After calculations, the value became 0.012. It is a relative error. Now come to your percentage error. Percentage error 0.012 into your 100%. This is 1.20%. Clear? So this is one example based on to calculate the absolute error, relative error, and the percentage error. In this way, you practice more problem at home. Clear? Now the combination of error. Let A and B are two measure value. A and B are to measure value. Delta A and delta B is the absolute error of A and B. And the result of these two value A and B is your Z, that is A plus B. If delta Z is the absolute error of Z, then Z plus minus delta Z is equal to A plus minus delta A plus B plus minus delta B. It is the equation of sum of two measure value. So A plus B plus minus delta A plus delta B, Z plus minus delta Z. You know that Z is equal to A plus B. So write down here Z plus minus delta A plus delta B. So Z plus minus delta Z. Cancelling these two values. So the maximum possible error is delta A plus your delta B. It is your maximum possible error. Okay. In this way, you find out the sum of two measure value. Take example. Suppose T1 is equal to, it is your temperature, suppose that 2 plus minus 0.3 centigrade, and T2 is equal to 3 plus minus 0.1 centigrade. So the sum of these two values, T1 plus T2, it is your 2 plus 0.3 plus minus 3 plus 0.1. You have to add this one and this. So 2 plus 3 plus minus 0.3, 0.1. 5 plus minus 0.4. It is your answer. So this is 0.4 is your maximum possible error. Okay. Now next is your the difference of two measure value. Similarly, you take Z is equal to A minus B, or Z plus minus delta Z equal to A plus minus delta A. It is the absolute error of A minus B plus minus delta B. It is the absolute error of B. So A minus B. Now what the value becomes? This is most important. Clear? So A minus B. Now value delta A minus, it is plus delta B. So what have to write here? Your value became, it is your plus minus. So it is your Z plus minus delta A minus plus delta B. So Z plus minus delta Z. So plus minus delta Z equal to plus minus delta A plus minus plus delta B. But for maximum possible error, You have to take with a positive sign. So it became delta z equal to plus minus delta A plus delta B, or delta z is equal to delta A plus delta B. This is the maximum possible error to calculate the difference of two measure value. Don't take the minus sign here. Always take the positive sign. Clear? To obtain the maximum possible error in case your difference value. So take one example here. Suppose that example temperature T1 is equal to 3 plus minus 0.3, T2 is equal to 4 plus minus 0.2. So T1 minus T2, you take that is 8. Okay. So it is 8 plus minus 0.3 minus 4 plus minus 0.2. 8 minus 4 plus minus your 0.3. Don't take the minus sign. 0.3 plus 0.2. It is the maximum possible error. It is 4 plus minus 0.5. Okay. So in this way, calculate the difference between the two measures. So mark here. You take always the positive sign here to obtain the maximum possible error. Otherwise, your answer is wrong. Here it is to calculate the final results or the product of two measure value. So this is number 3. Z is equal to AB. Okay. Or Z plus delta Z. A value became A plus minus delta A is the absolute error of A. B plus minus delta B, absolute error of B. A into B plus minus A delta B, then it is your B plus minus delta B, delta A that is, and plus minus delta A into delta B. Okay. Due to the small value of this delta and delta B, it is neglected. So delta Z, that is Z plus minus delta Z, after neglecting this value, AB, you may write ABZ, that is A delta B, B delta A plus minus. Here. Now dividing both sides by Z, it will become 1 delta Z, 1 plus minus A delta B by Z plus minus B delta A by Z. Cancelling this one plus minus delta Z. So taking common this one, putting the value of Z, that is AB plus B delta A, it is your AB, cancelling A, B, B. So delta Z plus minus, rewrite systematically, or delta Z equal to delta A delta B by It is the maximum possible fractional error or the relative error. Clear? Now take example. L is equal to 3 plus minus 0.3. B is equal to 2 plus minus 0.2. It is the length and breadth of a rectangle. To calculate the relative error of the area of the rectangle, we know that A is equal to L into B. So, what is the relative error of area? Delta A by A equal to delta L by L, delta B by B. So, delta L value is 0.3 by 3 plus minus plus, that is delta B value is 0.2 by 2, it is 0.1, it is also 0.1. This is your 0.2. So it is the relative error of area of the rectangle. In order to calculate the percentage error, delta A by A into 100, that implies that, or 0.2 into 100, that is your 2 by 10 into 100, 20%. In this way, calculate the relative error and percentage error when the two value given in term of product. Clear? Now, the final results involve the quotient of two observed value. The fourth one, if it is given in this way, Z is equal to A by B, Z plus Z, that is A plus minus delta A, B plus minus delta B, or A plus minus delta A. So taking this one, taking A common, 1 plus minus delta A by A, and that is B common, 1 plus minus delta B by B, or it is A 1 plus minus delta A by A, B minus in power 1 plus minus delta B by B minus 1. Expanding these terms by using the binomial expansion. Okay. So it becomes your A, B power minus 1 and 1 plus minus delta A by A. After expanding this term by using the binomial theorem, it became, it is minus sign, it is plus sign, delta B by B. Z plus minus delta Z. You know that this is your Z value. So it is Z multiplying 1, that is minus plus delta B by B. Now delta A by A plus minus delta A by A into delta B by B. Neglecting these terms because this is a small quantity. So dividing now these two values by Z. One plus minus delta Z by Z, Z by Z. to cancel out. This is 1 minus plus delta B by B. That is your plus minus delta A by A plus minus delta A by A delta B by B. Negating this value, became delta Z by Z 1 minus plus delta B by B plus minus delta A by A. You also cancel it out. Now this value became the maximum fractional error delta Z by Z is equal to delta A by A plus delta B by B. Taking common this one. Okay, this is the maximum possible error in terms of predictive error. Okay. Take example. You know that density is equal to mass by volume. M is equal to 2 plus minus 0.2 kg and volume is equal to 1 plus minus 0.1 that is meter cube. So what is the relative error of density? So delta rho by rho is equal to delta M by M plus delta V by V. It is 0.2 by 2 plus 0.1 by 1. The same is 2, 0.2, 0.2, 0.4 by 2, 0.2. This is the relative error of density. Percentage error, percent error 0.2 into 100, that is your 20%. So in this way you calculate the value of your relative error or percent error in case the value is given in quotient. Now the last one, number 10. If Z is equal to given as in power a power n, the relative error delta Z is equal to n a delta A by A. If it is given in this way, a power A, B power B, C power C, D power D, then the relative error is A delta A by A, B delta B by B, C delta C by C, then D delta D by D. Then it is capital D delta D by D. Okay, you have to add all this value in this way. Take example on this. Suppose Z is equal to given as a power 2, b power 3, c power 4, d root over. So what is the relative error? delta z by z equal to 2 delta a by a b delta b by b 4 delta c by c and half delta d by d. In this way, we calculate the relative error if the power is given. Clear? So this is all about your type of error, combination of error, significant figures and rounding of the numbers. Okay. We will discuss more problems tomorrow. If any doubt, you ask me at 9 o'clock.